I'm Lance Phillips. It's the first Gloves Are Off for 2018, and this year I'm going to do less with social media and more with the people I care about, just like you, CK.
I'm Chris King. He's bringing a tear to my eye right now. I'm trying to read a book a week, and he's just trying to make me happy.
A book a week?
A book a month, sorry, a week. That's ridiculous.
I don't know anyone who can read a book.
I told my kids they got to get better, so I got to get better. So 12 books, 12 months.
So are you reading the same books your kids are reading?
No.
The picture books?
No, I'm not reading like the Mickey Mouse and like the Curious George books, no. All coaching.
Lance Phillips, Chris King, fresh off a new haircut. You like that?
Yeah, it's short, it's different.
I like it. It looks sharp.
It's something.
That's how you ring in 2018 babies, with a new haircut right there.
I guess so.
Hey, did you catch any national championship semifinals on the weekend?
I caught a little bit. I saw a little bit of highlights on ESPN and got in trouble for streaming it illegally. So
you just admitted that you streamed it illegally?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome.
Because I could not get the feed.
So he's admitted to being a criminal. So you're full. Is that the only criminal activity you're involved with, or what else?
I feel like I
do?
shouldn't say anything else right now. Like I feel like I'm about headed to jail.
So we'll just start with the NHL's Winter Classic. How about we just go straight to that?
Let's talk about that.
Okay, we'll do it. The NHL's Winter Classic, its 10th installment happened this past weekend. Buffalo versus the New York Rangers at Citi Field in New York. The Rangers won 4-3, but in its 10th year, Kinger, has the Winter Classic lost some of its luster?
Yeah, the outdoor game itself just seems like it's so much every single year. They have 3 outdoor games a year now.
They've got way too many.
It's just overkill. I'm okay with 1 a year and making it a big event. At the end of the day, they're still selling the tickets. The NHL's making money, so I guess people want to see it. It's a vacation, but I don't watch it anymore.
If you tried to pour a pound of sugar in a 1-liter cup, that'd be oversaturated with sugar.
Correct.
And the NHL is currently oversaturated with outdoor winter games. Just slow down on all these different, the Heritage Classic, all these different games. Just get back to the Winter Classic and stick with it. And let's start having other teams other than original 6 teams in it. Yep. I mean, we're bombarded with original 6 stuff. We don't need to see the Rangers playing the Sabres necessarily. Let's have Tampa Bay. Try and make an outdoor game in Tampa Bay, for that matter, actually. Let's do outdoor games involving Tampa Bay and Colorado or whatever, but it's time to switch it up. I don't believe that the games themselves have lost their luster. They still get tons of fans out of the game. They're a great watch on television. But that being said, the real enjoyment of the game comes from being there.
Yeah, and I think that's the sell still. The people still like it. The players still enjoy doing it.
Sure.
And if you look at what the NHL Network does with the 24/7 and leading up to the Winter Classic, I think that stuff's phenomenal. I think it's good TV. I think it really gets you bought into some teams that you don't necessarily watch all the time. But I'm just not a huge fan of so many outdoor games and the fact that they're kind of all over the map at different features. It doesn't matter to me.
I've never actually witnessed an outdoor game live. But I feel like, obviously, if you watch it live, any event live is better than it is on television. But this one especially is better live. I mean, we saw it with the junior game and the snow conditions there. That makes it incredible to watch, really.
It's a totally different viewing experience than your regular game.
Yeah, definitely. But there's still lots of great features that happen within the game. You know, you get the old dudes out beforehand, the alumni-style games. I like the idea of it. I don't think it's lost its luster, but the NHL needs to cut back on this a little bit, and let's just do 1 a year.
Yeah. The College Football National Championship game is set with Alabama facing Georgia, 2 SEC powerhouses. Lance, is Georgia the early favorite right now?
Well, they're not. Alabama's actually the early favorite, but Georgia should be the early favorite. I believe that they actually have the better chance to win this game than Alabama does. That being said, I don't know if you watched any of the Rose Bowl game, but that was one of the best football games I've ever seen between Oklahoma and Georgia.
Bonkers.
I mean, Georgia coming back and scoring 24, but we're getting off topic here. This is why I think Georgia is the better team than Alabama. When you go Jake Fromm versus Jalen Hurts of the Crimson Tide, the quarterbacking goes to Georgia. I believe even the true freshman in Fromm is a better QB than Hurts is, and I think they have the advantage offensively. Their ground game, they ran up 326 yards against Oklahoma and 5 scores on their ground game between Nick Chubb and co. And this is where Georgia is going to be better than Alabama.
And I think Alabama's run D is going to be the difference. I actually think Alabama's, as you mentioned, a slight favorite right now. Just the fact that they've won so many national championships, I believe it's 5 since 2009, 3 of the last 4 championships.
It's a lot.
you have that aura about it. And essentially, Georgia is trying to become Alabama, right? That's what they're aspiring to be. And I always think that there's that little bit of like glitch in you that says, geez, like these guys are so big, they're so good, they have all the best facilities. So I do think that Alabama's got a really good shot. Their run D and their defense in general is really, really strong.
You like them as the early favorites?
Yeah, I do like them as early favorites. Will Georgia be able to score enough points against a good defense?
This is interesting. I believe it's Alabama. Can Alabama score any points with its offense? Offensively, Georgia holds the advantage here. Defensively, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
But I believe that Georgia's run offense is better than Alabama's run defense.
Well, I guess that's what we're going to find out in a couple of days. And essentially, Alabama's D, you are correct. They need to make some turnovers. They got to create some points or some good field position.
Turnovers are, I mean, any football game, whoever wins the battle of turnovers typically is going to win a game. But one thing I wasn't impressed with was Clemson's offense against Alabama. I mean, Alabama played them very well.
Yeah.
I mean, they played them tight. But Clemson's offense, watching it, they were almost their own problem out there. Whereas Georgia didn't have that issue. They did. You can make that case in the first half against Oklahoma. But after that, they really turned it around. It was fun to watch. That's for sure. The Clemson Alabama game, not so fun to watch. Thursday, CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie announced that he will approve a deal for Johnny Manziel, whether that's the Hamilton Tiger Cats or it's somebody else. This coming months, after he said that there was a lot of work to be done before Manziel could actually play in the CFL. And he offered this nugget, Chris, on Thursday. Mr. Manziel has been informed he must continue to meet a number of conditions in order to remain eligible. These conditions, while extensive and exacting, remain confidential, which begs the question, should the CFL have more transparency, i.e. full transparency, when it comes to these types of issues instead of keeping them confidential? I
believe yes. Why would you go out and talk about this if you're not going to say, these are the things he has to do? No drugs, no alcohol, he's getting tested 3 or 4 times a year or every third Friday, whatever it is. I just don't know why you bring it up and then kind of pull back from it and say, well, we're not going to let you know what the issues are.
I mean, this is a guy who's been known for beating his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. His girlfriend released a statement essentially saying that he deafened her in 1 ear for a period of time because he hit her so hard.
Right.
Like, when it comes to these types of issues and you have these types of guys that are coming into your league, you have to have transparency.
Yeah.
You can't allow guys to come in and not tell fans because without that transparency, it means that if Johnny Manziel does something that's against what the CFL wants, but they haven't told anybody, then they could say, oh, no, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. They've got to be transparent. And for a commissioner who's done so much good for this league, this is a step backwards.
And the thing is, do you really trust, if he's not being tested, he's not meeting these conditions, is he gone right away from the CFL? Is it just from the team? How are they going to enforce that? Because we know in college, he posted a lot of pictures of him doing stuff that's quote-unquote illegal. Right. And then once we became a pro, even worse. Before games, after games.
His dad said he should have been jailed. His dad said he should be in jail because that's the best place for him. But apparently Randy Ambrosie believes that CFL is the best place for him instead of jail.
He would be dynamic in the CFL if he ever ends up playing.
Yeah, that's fine, but we're not even talking about him being dynamic. We're talking about should the CFL be telling people these are the conditions he has to meet so people know that if he doesn't meet them, there's real consequences. Because right now you have no idea what the consequences are because you don't know what the real conditions are.
And eventually that will come out in the wash.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, it only will if the CFL becomes transparent on what they are.
Yes. Andy Dalton threw an interception, shocker, to seal the Buffalo Bills' fate, finally making a playoff appearance. Lance, are they a legitimate threat against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yes. And you mean that Andy Dalton threw a touchdown pass because that's how they got it.
Sorry, a touchdown pass. Sorry, I just get so used to him throwing interceptions.
For sure. And that's a fair assessment. Yeah, they actually do. They do stand a legitimate chance. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know if they can beat the Jags. The Jags have one of the best defenses in the league. And the Buffalo Bills have Tyrod Taylor. But Blake Bortles, I'll say Blake Bortles, okay? Blake Bortles fumbled the ball. He's a fumble machine. He fumbled it 9 times over the course of the year. He had 13 interceptions. Yeah, it was a career low, but it was tied for 7th highest in the NFL.
Yeah, Bortles is not good.
No, and this is a playoff situation where I think the career year that Bortles has had is going to come crashing down to reality this postseason.
I'm interested to watch this game just because I think both teams are kind of garbage. Jacksonville's D is really, really good. Jacksonville's been good all year when they've been in front. It's easy to play when you're in front, and it's easy for your D to be good and for you to run the clock down. Buffalo, are they going to be able to score TDs? LaShawn McCoy is probably going to be out with his ankle.
Okay, so that's the big deal, right? If he can be healthy and he can play like LaShawn McCoy can play, they have a great chance because the Jags' run defense was ranked 21st.
Yeah, I'm not.
They're allowing 116 yards per game.
I'm not happy when the coach says he should be able to play on Sunday.
No, for sure.
That's not great.
It's up in the air. It's like the NHL with upper body injuries. But one thing the Bills have not got credit for is their secondary. They were tied for, I forget what it was off the top of my head, but it might have been actually the best in the league. They allowed 13 touchdown passes over the course of the year. That might have been best in the league. And they're not getting enough credit for their secondary. They have a great secondary. Very, very good. One of the best in the league.
Well, against the Bortles, they'll have a chance to pick off a lot of passes.
Well, and the Jags have some great offensive weapons. I mean, don't make any mistake there. But I think the Buffalo Bills may pull the upset here. And believe me, it would be an upset in a lot of people's eyes.
I will be watching that game for sure.
Would you have ever thought at the beginning of the season that the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars would be playing in a postseason NFL game?
I thought those would both be 5-win teams. To be honest, I'll be honest.
According to a Patriots source, Bill Belichick had thermometers replaced in the Jets tunnel this past Sunday and replaced with massive temperature gauges to show the New York Jets how cold it was in Foxborough. Is this type of mental warfare, does it actually work?
I would hope it doesn't work. I would hope that those guys.
Let's just say that the Patriots thumped the Jets 26-6.
It could. Okay, first off, the Patriots are better than the Jets. They didn't need to do this. I think they were rubbing it in a little bit, but Belichick wants to win it no matter what. Anything he does, he wants to win. And the Patriots are kind of known for doing this type of thing quite often, right? The thermostat, I think, is an interesting one, especially all the guys that are used to the warmer climate going out there and saying, oh my God, it's minus, minus
look
12
at, first of all,
Fahrenheit.
as a player, you know it's cold.
Yeah.
You know it's cold before you even go out. But the fact that as you walk out of the tunnel, there are thermometers on the walls that Belichick had the grounds crew put in that are this big that remind you how cold it is. You know it's cold, but to actually see it could actually have some sort of effect on you. I think it's great, and I don't know if it works. I mean, I'd like to think that it has some effect. I believe that this type of mental game, these mental games, have some effect on opposing teams as they go out to the field. Well, however minute it is, it does exist. But that's great.
Subliminally, you're seeing it all over the place. You can't help but that, like, when you're out there, oh, that hit hurt. Oh, it's minus 20 Celsius. No wonder why that hit hurt so much more, right? Like, this isn't the same thing as Deflategate or Spygate or any of the other
No, but don't you feel like the NFL would
things.
figure out a way to make this punishment?
I know. It's just one of those things that, like, it makes you laugh that the Patriots did it, but at the same time, it's like, why? Why are they always the one involved in this type of
Because this is the brilliance of Bill Belichick. This is the brilliance of this guy. He does these kinds of things, and it throws teams off their game. Look, if you're playing the Steelers and you can throw the Steelers off their game however way you're going to do it. Likewise, if you're the Steelers, you're a Steelers fan, you watch the Patriots, you'd love to know that Mike Tomlin is throwing...
Or kicking a guy on the sideline.
Yeah, you're tripping a guy as he runs down the field.
You're going to take an edge. No, I agree. Isaiah Thomas returns to the court for the Cleveland Cavaliers. What does this do for the Cavs heading forward, Lance? Does this make them the team to beat?
Okay, so this is a team right now that is not... you're never really questioning their offensive prowess. No. But they've been doing this with essentially what you could classify as borderline washed-up guys at point guard. Jose Calderon, Dwayne Wade, who's 36, has actually been playing point guard. And it's his first time he's done it since his rookie season. Yep. Okay, this team does not struggle offensively. And Isaiah Thomas had a career year last year where he poured in 28.9 points per game. Okay? If he can do that, they're in good shape. Their big problem is defensively. So they're going to now have a guy who's 5'9" out on the court, who's a defensive liability out there. So I think he helps them offensively, but they don't need it. They need help defensively, and he doesn't do that.
Yeah, 5'9" is probably generous for him.
It might be.
And he's coming off a hip injury, and he was, let's say, poor defensive player. My biggest thing as a coach is now you've played so many games, now it's going to take 20 games or so for you to figure out, okay, how does Isaiah fit in with LeBron? Is he distributing? Is Isaiah having the ball and distributing? And it just creates a weird dynamic for a while. And plus, you have now all the old guys. Wade's going to lose some minutes. Calderon, as you mentioned, is going to lose some minutes. Both those guys are...
I don't think there's any problem with Calderon losing minutes on this team.
He's bad. He's bad.
I mean, his best days are definitely behind him. The thing, and going back to this defense, I mean, per 100 possessions, I keep wanting to say the Browns because they could be as bad as the Browns on defense.
They would beat the Browns.
Pardon me?
They would beat the Browns.
They probably would beat the Browns. Yeah, that's a good point. The Cavs allow 110 points per 100 possessions, which is like top 3 worst in the NBA. And this doesn't help them. Isaiah Thomas does not help them in this regard. So this team basically has to shoot out the other team.
Yeah.
If the other team's going to score 100, which is kind of the point in any sport, you have to score more points than the other team. But especially this, if the Golden State Warriors score 150 points, they got to score 151. Like it, they've got to beat them offensively, and I don't think they can do that over the course of the entire season.
They don't have that firepower to do it every night. Maybe once in a while, but not every night. They can't outscore teams. They're going to have to defend eventually.
Well, can they defend eventually?
No. That's why I don't think they're going to win the East this year. I don't think it's.
We're getting off topic. Who wins the East then?
The Dinos, the Celtics. The Dinos are hot. We'll talk about them later. The Dinos are hot.
All right. Albert's coming up on the other side. He's loaded up this week. The Dinos.
Yeah.
Take your word for
it. We're back, and the gloves are still off.
Welcome back, friends. I'm still loving that haircut, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm not loving it. But I can't shave. I got an ugly skull.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Looks like a
it's
wet sponge?
Bumpy. There's lots of scars in it. Yeah. I don't think I can go
Does it
shave.
look like a wet sponge?
Yeah. It looks something. It's gross.
Mine looks pretty good until you get to about here. And then it's lumpy. Yeah, it's a lot of head injuries. Start it off, sir.
Let's go. The score. At the score. Thoughts on Damian Lillard's new outfit?
What is he wearing?
It looks like he's wearing a lot of chest hair.
He's wearing a 3-piece suit with no shirt. Like, if the NBA had years ago when they changed their policy on what people could wear,
the dress code, yeah.
The dress code. Thank you. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Dress code. How can this be part of it?
I don't know, but can I wear this on the show?
You totally can.
My chest hair is.
No, you totally can. Yeah.
That's
I feel like our
equivalent
ratings will drop, but yeah, you could totally do it.
Or go up.
Oh, yeah, they could go up.
It's the equivalent of 3 buttons down. You can almost see his nipples. It's unbelievable.
It's a ways down there for sure. Oh. It's a ways down there. What do we got? Oh, yeah. So this was my original tweet to Matt King. I believe you know Matt King.
Yeah, little brother.
Kingerovsky is his Twitter handle. So I tweeted you, at King or Chris, hey, at King or Chris, 80-0. And then he responded with, any other King family would not have let that happen. Even Rhonda would have put up a better effort. Your mom's name's Rhonda?
My mom's name's Rhonda.
So was mine.
That's why we get along.
Yeah.
I think basically just making fun of how bad I was at the game, and that usually mom's the worst at the game.
You weren't great at it, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we do remember the trial game, I did well.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we got at Gloves TV, the top 5 sports movies of all time. This is from at IamNovaCH. Airbud, Airbud World Pup, Airbud Golden Receiver, Airbud Spikes Back, and Airbud 7th Inning Fetch. Honorable mentions, Most Valuable Primate and Most Vertical Primate. I have not heard of any of these, hence the mispronunciation. Did you actually watch all these? Did he actually watch all these?
I can't tell you whether he did or not.
Holy
I don't. I have a feeling I know who that person is.
Yeah, so do I. I feel like he's in my ear. That's like a full day of Airbud. That's unbelievable.
I don't know how you could do a full day of Airbud.
Whew.
Okay. So this is Chris Archer. Chris is kind of the one who kind of spurned the Crokinole into the great heights that it got to.
He's our biggest fan.
So Chris Archer at Ops 4th Liner. So Ops is a very, very small township in rural Ontario. I hate that word, rural. I can't get into it. So this is his top 5 sports movies at Gloves TV. So number 1, actually let's go 5. So number 5, he had For the Love of the Game, which you had, I believe, at number 5 as well. He's got 61, the Roger Maris Story,
good one,
at number 4. The Greatest Game Ever Played at number 3. I have no idea what that is.
That's the golf one, I think. Yeah, I don't think I've watched it.
I don't know. Yep. He's got 3 movies at number 2.
I don't know if he knows how that works.
Yeah, I don't think he does, but that's okay. He's got the Mighty Ducks trilogy at number 2. Number 2 all time.
Okay, Mighty Ducks 1, yes.
No way.
Mighty Ducks 1 was the best one.
That's awful.
The other 2 I could care less for.
That's awful television. And then his number 1 was my number 3, Tin Cup.
Hey, there's mail.
Tin Cups of,
Dude, that scene is unbelievable.
yeah, it's a
Where
big
he takes like 5 chops at it and then finally drops it on the green. That's incredible.
McAvoy.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, still continuing about the movies. We got our guy, Ryan Sklapper, Mr. Lloydminster,
Mr. Lloydminster.
texting back. So his top 5, we'll start at the honorable mentions at the bottom. So honorable mention, Friday Night Lights,
It's a good one.
Major League, Sandlot, #beauty. I like that he put hashtags behind all these. Number 5, Moneyball. Number 4, Any Given Sunday. We talked about how good that is.
Absolutely.
Number 3, Jerry Maguire, #show me the money.
Show me the money.
Number 2, $1 Million Baby, #Hilary Swank. That was a really great flick.
I'll take your word for it.
And number 1, Coach Carter, Can't Go Wrong with Sam. Those are great picks, Clapper.
Coach Carter's a great movie too.
It's underrated for sure.
Yeah,
You've
definitely.
got mail.
All right, what do we got here? What do we got? This is Kevin Nagandi at K Nagandi ESPN. Lisa Salters this is from Christmas Day, by the way. Lisa Salters is the real MVP today in sports media. Worked the Sixers-Knicks ESPN game in New York City at noon, then went to Monday Night Football for Philly in Philly for Eagles Raiders.
That's a full
Hey,
load.
there's mail.
You're not kidding. So you imagine she went one city and then flew to another, went from New York to Philadelphia and did 2 games.
So would she get OT pay for that or no?
Oh, I would think so. And she'd be getting some, everything be covered. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ESPN, so they'd be covering
Still.
all our food, travel, everything.
That's dedication to your job
No
right there.
joke.
We got at Bar Down. When you realize Patrick Laine is still young enough to play in the World Juniors.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Call him up.
Yeah, give him a call. Yeah, give him a call. All right. Trying to stay up with this, trying to keep up with this. Not a good day to be this guy, #WJC 2018. Did you see this?
Yes. Yes.
They could have killed the guy in that first shot.
Well, and there's still more shots coming after that.
And then he gets hit. And then later he actually did get hit on the shoulder by the Swedish team, and he was upset going off, right?
I loved when he walked off the ice and he's just like, what the?
Oh, he was fuming. I can't believe that first shot. Like, it whizzed by his head.
But I will say the blue tracksuit was kind of like, it is tough to pick up out there.
How? The
If
guy's
you just
in
skated
the net.
out and you're just like shooting the puck, he was
They're
like
coming
waiting.
around. They're not shooting at the blue
got
line. They're
mail.
skating into the slot and shooting it. Like, how do you not see that guy?
Yeah, it's a good thing that guy went bar down. Otherwise, it would have been big trouble.
Would have been game over.
At Patterson Jeff, early candidate for World Junior 2018 MVP, the guy behind the penalty box.
Unbelievable, right? Like
He-
he's just,
So I was watching this game live, and I pointed out to my wife, "Did you see that guy two-fisting?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Buddy was drinking
Yeah.
2 Molsons."
but he didn't do it until the camera
You
came on, and then
got
he took him back. How much do you think he got on himself?
Oh, I don't know. True
All right,
Canadian.
here come a series of what I would think are good motivational tweets for the new year. Surround yourself, this is Warren Buffett, at It's Warren Buffett. Surround yourself with people that push you to do and be better. No drama or negativity, just higher goals and higher motivation, good times and positive energy. No jealousy or hate, simply bringing out the absolute best in each other. And it's true.
That'll get you fired up right there.
It's 100% true.
At the Garfoose, in 2017, I spent less time on social media. I feel my quality of life was better for it. I worry less. I like myself more. I have fewer pointless arguments. I cause less offense, and I feel I can better concentrate.
This is Dirk Hayhurst.
Dirk Hayhurst, sorry. I gave the Twitter handle.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, I read that, and I made the decision that this year I am going to spend less time on social media.
So I started doing that, putting my phone away the last hour before bed and the first hour when I wake up, and I feel way
Mail
better.
in
That's
the
awesome.
beak.
I spend too much time on the Twitter.
I do too, and that's where it's got to go. Okay, this is Warren Buffett again. Habits of happy people. Don't show off, talk less, learn daily, help less fortunate, laugh more, ignore nonsense, and no entitlement. Talk less is huge, and I don't know if people really understand the importance of that. Like, if you're talking less, it means you're listening more, and you don't learn by talking.
Hey, there's
Listening is the
mail.
biggest key, I think. We talk about it all the time
Yeah, we
with
do.
our kids. Listen to your friends, listen to your teammates. All right, we got Jeff Fell at Fell is the 33. At Matt Barry, TMR, it's only fair to give something back, right? So, the backstory on this.
Yeah, Todd Gurley.
He won his fantasy football league, and then donated it back to the Shriners Hospital for Children.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's class act right there.
And he did it in the name of Todd Gurley because Gurley got like 40 points in 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, $50, that's a good chunk of change back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. Did you win your fantasy pool?
No, I did not. I was dead last.
I did, just for the record.
Should have been in the Lakeland pool. You would have had a big trip on your hands.
Where'd they go?
L.A.
Oh, for
L.A.
For playoff game.
Playoffs, baby.
And L.A. too.
We're back. You can keep your gloves on, but ours are off.
Over under coming up. You got some local stuff in there?
I got a lot of local and a
Oh,
little
nice.
bit national.
I
if
have
you will.
some local as well mixed into my over under. You want to start it off?
Sure, I'll give you first. I'll start on the national scene.
Okay.
The Toronto Blue Jays, 79.5 wins this season. That would make them almost playoffs. Almost playoffs.
Over.
Ooh, you're on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I think they'll. I think they'll surprise. I think they'll surprise this year, and they'll win. They'll win 84 games.
Okay, there you go. I'm going under with that. I think they're probably like 77. They're going to be injured a lot. I don't think there's a lot of depth there. But that's, you know.
There isn't a lot of depth.
Yeah.
There definitely is a lack of depth. We've talked about this
Yeah.
before. I'm pretty sure we've had this Blue Jays number on.
I keep
on
bringing.
over-under.
I'm hitting back to the Blue Jays. It's that time of year. Pitchers are
Okay,
throwing.
well, I'm going to stick with the Toronto theme here.
Okay.
The Toronto Argonauts will average 20,000 fans at home games in 2018. Just to put that in perspective, here's the 2017 CFL attendance numbers. In last place were the Toronto Argonauts, who averaged 13,914. Actually, sorry, 13,913.7. I don't know how you get 0.7 of a fan, but you do. And that's what they averaged. It was last in the league. It was more than almost 11,000 under the league average.
Well, 0.7 means you watched 0.7 of the game, then you got kicked out, obviously.
I get that's possible.
Yeah.
Are you taking the over?
That's
the
a huge jump. I'm going to go under on
They
that.
just won the Grey Cup.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. If you gave me like 16,000, I'd maybe take it, but that's a...
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the under on this as well. I don't think it's going to be 20, but I do think it's going to be above 18. I expect somewhere in the 18 to 20,000 range, but I can't see it being over 20. I mean, there's already fans that are getting new season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Obviously, a ton of renewals. And there's a renewed excitement. Plus, MLSE owns the team, which means they're no longer tenants at BMO Field. It means they live there permanently.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It's
Hopefully
huge.
they can keep drawing more and more.
Yeah, definitely.
So switching gears to the local, Lloyd Bobcats have 21 games left in the regular season. Will they win 10.5 of those?
Okay, we've talked about this before. So when Josh did this with me before, the over-under we set was essentially 500.
Okay.
At that time, and that was before the season started, and I had over. I thought that they would just be over 500 wins,
Right.
or 500 on the season. So I think 31 wins is what I had them pegged at.
Okay.
I think you and I did this before
Yeah.
when they kind of had lost a bunch. They were 10 and 22, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. So I think we set it around 17, which I had picked at right near there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you had picked on that. So now you're saying that
10 and a half of the last 21, so that'd put them at 25 wins for the season. Because they have
that's a tough one.
14 wins right now. And
That's
they
a
got
tough one.
21 games left.
they have 14 or 13.
14, I believe, yeah.
So they're going to win 10 of their last 21 games.
Yeah. So basically going 500, which obviously is a good stretch, right?
I'm going to take the under on that. They haven't proven to me yet that they're a 500 club. Their biggest benefit right now is their goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
Their goaltending has been fantastic. I mean, they just reeled off 2 wins against Whitecourt, which is 3rd best in the league. I'm going to take the under. I don't think they're quite a 500 club yet.
Yeah, and I'm going to take the under too. I think there's going to be improvement there, but we got to see it on the paper, right?
Wrestlers women's basketball, who I think you know fairly well.
I do.
Right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you start your second half of the season off in Keano, up in Fort Mac, January 19th and 20th.
Yep, you're right.
And if I'm not mistaken, Josh and I just had a chat with you where you said that your team is in great shape?
Terrible shape.
Terrible shape, sorry.
You're right.
Despite that, I have confidence in your coaching abilities and that you can get your team into the shape it needs to be in by that time, and your team will beat Keano in both games by a combined 20.5 points.
Ooh, 20.5, that's a big spread. We need to win both.
You definitely do.
I'm going to take under on the spread. I think we'll win both games. Keano, as you know, has a worse record than us, but is ranked nationally. So
and they split with you in the first.
Yeah, we have a bit of a chip on our shoulder for that game.
No doubt.
I think we'll be fired up.
Okay.
So.
I'm going to take the under on this. I do believe you win both those games as well, but my under is not that much under. I think you're still going to beat them by a combined 16 points.
That's very nice of you. Hopefully, we can do you proud.
I hope so.
Okay,
I'm to get in better shape.
Yeah,
coach has to do it, but the players have to do it as well. Come on, girls. Yeah. Stop eating Doritos and play basketball.
We're working on it. 2-a-days, they're running it off.
Good. And get those girls to do push-ups. Yeah. Looking at Taya Paler. I've seen Taya Paler's push-ups.
Yeah, it's not great.
They're like this.
She needs to do push-ups like
the
Terminator.
This.
Angela. Okay, Rustlers men's volleyball is on the bubble right now of playoff situation. I know this is your least favorite thing. If playoffs started right now, which they don't, 5.5 wins for the Rustlers men's volleyball in the second semester. Over or under?
Over. For sure over. For sure. That is a team that's, I believe that team is better than their 9-3 record currently.
So if they win 6 games, they will be in the playoffs.
They're going to win. They're going to win at least 6 games. I have no doubt. I wouldn't be surprised that team goes 10-2 in the second half, maybe even 11-1.
That would be hot. Hey,
that's a good team. That's a good team.
They're getting better.
They're so inconsistent.
Yeah.
But they're a good team. They've got some great talent on that team. I often wonder sometimes if this team even knows that they have the talent they have. Like, are they aware that they have these players that are that good?
Sometimes the players aren't aware, unfortunately.
Of themselves.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like, I wonder if some of these guys are aware how good they are. Like, they're frustrating to watch, but at the same time, they're exciting to watch.
Yep.
The Edmonton Oilers will finish the 2017-2018 season with 85 points. I believe they have 37 or 39 right now.
Oof. I'm going to go under on that. Under.
So you don't even think they're a playoff team?
No, I don't think they're a playoff team. Actually, and I had one on here that I thought, I don't think they're going to squeak in. Do you?
No, I don't think they are, which is absolutely pathetic because I had them pegged to be at least a Western Conference final team this coming year.
So did I. I think we were both pumping their tires all preseason.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under on that as well. Not much under. I believe they can get to. I think they can get to 80 points if they really turn this ship around, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough.
Yeah, the Western Conference is.
They just got handled by Winnipeg the other night too. That was embarrassing.
Yeah,
if you're an Oilers fan.
Yeah, that's a good hockey club. Yeah, I am an Oilers fan. I am not the diehard, but I'm the fan.
Right.
Okay, let's jump back to the AL East since I'm on the baseball.
Okay.
New York Yankees, 89.5 wins this season.
Holy cow! I'm going to take the over on that. That's going to be a good team. That's going to be a real good team. That's a 92-win team.
Win the division.
For sure, win the division. Yeah. That's a 92-win team. That takes me back to the days of the early 2000s with Jeter and co. Mariano Rivera when they were clobbering teams and owning the AL East.
Yeah, they were scary then. I kind of like that the Yankees are going to be good because everyone hates the Yankees. It kind of gives you something to cheer against.
For sure, and that's the thing. I think that people hate the Yankees so much, and they used to hate them more when Steinbrenner owned them because they spent crazy amounts of money to win.
Yeah.
And that's, I think they also proved that's not how you win. Real quick, we got one more.
Yeah.
Midget AAA Bobcats, currently 5-16-2. They got 6 games left. Team's going to win 5.5 of those 6 games.
Woo! I'm going to go under because that's real tough to do. You think they're going to run it out?
No, but I think they're going to win 5 of the 6.
That would be awesome.
They got a good team. They got their players back. That's a solid team. And it changed when they played the women's national team. That's a team that's going to make the playoffs, that's going to make some noise. I like what I see out of them. Absolutely.
5 of 6 is good anywhere you go.
No kidding.
If you can't score, you might as well drop the gloves.
Bold predictions. We're going to try something different here. Well, I'm going to try something different. We've talked about having people send in stuff. I mean, we had the 5. I thought it was ironic, actually, that we had the 5 best sports movie segment, and then your buddy didn't even actually send in his 5 best sports movies via tweet.
He chickened out.
That's unbelievable. Was he the Air Bud guy?
Maybe his Twitter game isn't that good. He was
guy?
Not the Air Bud guy. I think I know who the Air Bud guy was. Are you starting us off or am I?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, though. Because we've talked about people sending stuff into the show that we like, I'm going to actually use bold predictions from one of our listeners. I'm going back to Ops fourth liner Chris Archer. He's always sending stuff in, and I know he constantly is in in communication with us. He's got ideas, and I like it. I think it's cool. So he sent me some bold predictions directly to my Twitter account. So I'm gonna roll with these because there's some in here that make sense. And Arch, there's some that really we're gonna blow apart. Okay, so I will start, and I'll start with one that I'm gonna blow apart. I think actually, I'll start with one that makes sense. So his bold prediction is the Leafs will make the East Finals, but he believes they need one D-man to do that. But he's got the Leafs will make the East Finals.
Okay.
That is not far-fetched.
Not far-fetched at all. And they will probably make that move.
So in the world of bold predictions, Archer, this is not terribly bold.
Yeah.
Because I believe that that's a distinct possibility.
It's vanilla, as you always tell me.
That is a little vanilla. I got something that actually reminds me of your buddy, I forget your friend there with the elephant. Made me think of something. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, you're up.
Okay. The Raptors will make the Eastern Conference Finals. They are hot right now. I got 2 Raptors on here. They've won 12 games in a row at home, but yeah, I think the Raptors are going to win.
And DeMar DeRozan just had a pretty good game.
52 points isn't bad.
Is DeMar DeRozan, I know we're getting off topic here, is DeMar DeRozan the best Raptor of all time?
Probably. And he's going to end up being if he isn't now, he will be by the time he's done.
I'm not sure Vince Carter. The only guy that can really stand up to him is Vince Carter.
Yeah, and just Vince was for other reasons, right?
Yeah, for
he
sure.
changed the game in terms of dunking.
Well, and he was show. He was all show, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to see DeMar. You had a bold prediction of DeMar sinking like 30% from the three-point line, which he's not even close to right now. Yeah. But if he could up that part of his game and even just his jumpers, he's a guy that's a real formidable player in this league. He's already a great player in the league, but I believe he's the best Raptor of all time. If you're gonna retire a number at the end of someone's career, it's probably DeMar DeRozan, frankly. Fair. Okay, Arch, what do you got here? All right, so he's got the Sens will be sold and get a new downtown rink. So he hasn't put a timeline on this. So I don't know if he means like this year or what he means, but he's put the Sens will be sold and we'll get a new downtown rink. I believe at some point the Sens may very well be sold, but I don't think it's going to be this year. I don't think it's going to be next. I don't think we're going to see it maybe in the next 10 years. The downtown rink portion is feasible. The selling is not going to happen. There's no way. That's a very bold prediction to say that they'll be sold.
I'm kind of on board with him. I think both are going to happen.
No way.
I think
Melnick's not going to sell the team, especially if they get a downtown rink. Melnick's not going to sell the team. He's alienated fans recently, but they're not going anywhere.
All right, I'm going to jump ahead to the World Juniors. We saw a shootout yesterday in the quarterfinals. We're going to see a shootout in the gold medal game. I don't know who's going to be there, but it's going to a shootout. That's real bold.
That is bold, and that would be awful.
You don't want to see a shootout?
Not in a gold medal game to finish a game. No.
Yeah, that's fair. I really enjoyed the shootout.
It's bold. It's bold.
Yeah.
I don't mind the shootout in the round robin games. I have no problem with that. But I don't want to see it in a gold medal deciding game. Actually, I don't have any horses in this race, so I don't really care. I don't know what I'm so uptight about.
You don't like the shootout for a medal. That's what you don't like.
I don't like it for a medal.
Fair.
No, I don't like it for a medal. You know, in the World Junior, in the scope of World Junior, maybe it's not so bad. I do not want to see an Olympics be decided by a shootout. The Olympic gold medal goes to a team because they won a shootout.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
What do you got next? What do you got next?
You like it?
I kind of like it because I just remember like the Taves shootout and I remember all the big shootouts.
What's a bold prediction? I'll give you that. All right, Arch. You got Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, if healthy, will win at least one tournament this year.
Well, I think even at 50%, he could win a tournament this year.
Yeah, it's not terribly bold again, Archer, but I believe that, and we've talked about this before, and it doesn't matter if he's playing golf or playing crokinole.
He moves the meter.
He moves the needle. No, I think this is a distinct possibility as well. I mean, Woods is not. I mean, he played well in the last tournament he was in.
Yeah.
You know.
I would love to see him win.
I don't think anyone.
If he said like 2 or 3, I'd be like, okay, that's a bit much. But
like if he went ahead and said like Tiger Woods will win a major this year, then I'd be like, yeah, that's bold.
Yeah,
that's bold.
So this is one of those. This is a lukewarm one, I think.
Lukewarm.
Canada, the Olympics are upon us. They're coming up here, not too long.
Yeah.
We're gonna win men's and women's hockey gold medal.
Now, women's to me, that is Luke, because I believe the women's team is definitely.
Well, they should be in the final.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, they will be, unless something absolutely off the charts happens. The men's team, this is a toss-up. This is literally anybody's tournament.
It's kind of going to be fun to watch.
It will be fun to watch. I guarantee it will be fun to watch. This will be the first time where we can watch this. Brian Gianta's on the U.S. men's team. Brian Gianta's like 80.
Yeah. which is amazing.
No, for sure. Like, I don't know how old Brian Giannis is.
He's going to score. He's probably 40.
He probably is 40. I don't know how old he is. But anyways, it doesn't matter. This is going to be exciting to watch because you don't know who can win at this. It's not like you can say, okay, you know, these few teams, like Slovakia could have a chance this year.
Yeah, anyone could win.
Oh, man, bring it on. Like, let's see it now. Start it now. Okay. Arch has Oilers will make the playoffs and go deep. I only use the term "go deep" in one way.
Yeah,
and that doesn't involve the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, I thought you meant long bomb, right? Like
no, I
playing flag football.
No.
My cheeks are going red here.
Mine too.
Bold that they're going to make playoffs. Bold that they're going to go deep into playoffs.
First of all, I feel like that term grosses me out.
By go deep, I think he means probably like Western Conference Finals. I think.
Yeah,
and that's extremely tough.
This whole thing is a bold prediction. It's a dual bold. It's a dual bold, like double bold. Like if I fonted some letters here and double bolded them, that's how bold this is. They're not going deep.
I'm going to try to sneak one more in under the wire. Raptors have won 12 straight at home. They will win 18 before the streak snapped at home. Their next 3 home games: Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavs, Golden State Warriors.
No way. It's bold. They got to beat the Cavs, and I think that's going to be tough.
And the Warriors and the Heat.
Yeah, well, and the Warriors, truthfully, I didn't hear you say that because I stopped the Cavs.
Fair.
The Heat could cause a problem for the Raptors.
Real bold.
Super bold.
We're back, and the gloves are still off.
Not trying to start the year off negatively, but we're going to do what's bugging you. And we're also going to do a little final take. We've got some local stuff we're going to run through, just some things happening this coming weekend that people can go check out, because there's lots of great sports happening around the border city that people would take a look at.
It's a sports town.
It's a sports town, baby. You want to start off what's bugging you?
Yes.
Please.
What is bugging me? The outdoor game at the World Junior Championships. I'm all for outdoor games in the NHL, as we previously discussed, but for the World Junior Championships, an international tournament, I'm not a fan of this happening for a couple of reasons. If that game ends up where that decides someone making a playoff spot, whether it be first, second, or third on goals for and against, it's not really a fair thing for the teams to play one game outdoors and then the rest of the teams all be indoor. If you go outdoor, everyone needs to play outdoor. The other thing is, with the amount of snow that was on the ice, the injury risk was extremely high. I was very nervous that what if one of those kids gets injured and never gets to make it to the show, or never gets a chance to play in the dub or make money playing professionally overseas. There was a lot of things that made me really worried. One, the quality of play was so poor because of the snow, the chance of injury, and how unfair it was to the rest of the team. So that's been what's bugging me, Lance, is the fact that it was a one-off just to make money on Canada-US.
Does it bring back memories of Dena Lang when she was injured in that outdoor game? When I forget which game it was now, but I remember she was hurt in the women's classic injury. It was like an outdoor game that during one of the NHL.
I didn't see it, but it just
Spinal
worries me.
injury.
These kids are like 18 years old. Their whole career's in front of them. Like, you can't just put one game out there. If they ended up tied with a couple other teams, and that game was gross hockey because you couldn't really track the puck.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was upsetting to watch. It was great that there was 40,000 or 50,000 people there. Awesome that they sold the tickets, because they have not been drawing well.
No, and I feel like if you're at that game, you probably have a different opinion of it, because it's
probably cool
because you're hammered and it's fun to watch.
You're the guy drinking 2 Molsons.
You're the guy behind the penalty box.
Yeah.
Okay, what's bugging me is opinion. That's uninformed, because uninformed opinion is an opinion. It's actually just dumb. And a lot of people seem to have uninformed opinion. They seem to want to spout things without actually knowing the facts. They think they know the facts, but they really don't, and they haven't done any research. And that sort of opinion is easy to do because it's lazy, and there's no consequences for it. So via social media, you can come out and say whatever you want. There aren't any real consequences if you're wrong, which most of the time people are, because they haven't done any research and haven't taken the time to figure stuff out. And a lot of it pertains to knowing all the facts in a matter. People think they know the facts, but they don't. I just said that. I know I'm repeating myself, but it really bothers me that if you want to know the facts, then reach out to people and talk to them about what's going on. Don't just assume that because you have the one side, that's how it goes. I always have the saying that there are 2 sides to every story, and it typically meets somewhere in the middle. So before you spout opinion on what you think you know that you currently don't, Find out the facts. Take some time and don't look like a fool on social media because you said something that doesn't make any sense. And the worst part is, Kinger, is when people back other people up because they think that that's the gospel. They back up that uninformed opinion or that dumb opinion because they think it's gospel.
That's the problem with social media, right?
It is.
It catches like wildfire, and you don't really know where it's coming from.
Stay off. This is part of the reason why I'm staying off social media this year. Not staying off, but just limiting my usage of it because it's just filled with garbage.
Yeah, I got to use it to recruit for sure. But
it's filled with
I'm
garbage.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's filled with garbage nationally, and it's filled with garbage locally too.
Yeah, it's all over. It's universal.
Listen, let's do some final take. Let's talk about some things happening this coming weekend. So some local sports going on this weekend. Of course, we have the Lloydminster Bobcats, who actually have had a pretty good streak of late. They've won their last 3 games. They just beat the Whitecourt Wolverines, who are the 3rd best team in the AJHL North, but beat them 2-1 and 3-2 respectively, Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. No problem getting off the Christmas fat for those guys.
No, for sure. So they are playing. Olds on Friday in Lloydminster, and then they have Fort McMurray after Fort McMurray plays in Bonnyville Friday night as well. Of course, the Pontiacs just finished a game up on Tuesday against Spruce Grove. As I said, the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, who are second to Spruce Grove, are going to be in Bonnyville country Friday and back in Lloyd on Saturday. So a couple of games there. Midget AAA Steelers, who are having a pretty good year. We discussed this quickly before. They have a trio of games coming up this weekend. So they've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday they were playing. Their Sunday game is in Wainwright against Red Deer.
Oh, that's
Have you
awesome.
had a chance to go out and see any of these games yet?
I have not had a chance to see any of those games. I might be able to catch that Saturday game. Might be back in time.
Yeah.
Afternooner, right?
It is, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to cover the Friday night game.
Yeah.
The Friday evening game. I'm going to go out and check that out and see how this team is doing. They're playing really well. I mean, they're within a couple of points or 4 points, I believe, of first. It's pretty tight in the North Division there, but they're playing well. Rustlers volleyball starts up this coming weekend.
League starts for them real early. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Against Concordia Saturday at 6 and 8. Listen, this Rustlers women's team is still the ranked first in Canada. They're still the best Canadian team out there.
You're not going to see a team better. So while you got the chance, you might as well watch them.
And they're undefeated. They're probably going to run the table here.
They got a shot to do the unthinkable, the undefeated season, and win a championship and a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if this team is not in the national championship this year, which is in Grand Prairie, if I'm not mistaken.
Grand Prairie, you bet,
Yeah. Women's basketball team, so this is your team. You're in Nate this coming weekend.
Yeah, you bet.
You got a little tournament north-south.
North-south showdown, yeah. We have Olds on Friday afternoon, and then Med Hat in the morning on Saturday.
Men's basketball, they have Ambrose on Friday.
Yep, 8 o'clock p.m. start.
Get out there and support Rustlers Athletics. And I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here. Like, it's a worthwhile thing to check out. It's good sport.
High level too.
It certainly is. Thanks for watching. Catch you in 7.